we didn't go yet. The intention is we're gonna go. We didn't go because I said, you know what, third period we can sort of cheat. We can be a little bit late getting there. It'll be fine. I want to see the end of this. Can I start off by saying tremendous road game by the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight. This was great, and I know there's Leaf fans that are mad about penalties that were called and penalties that weren't. This honestly, for a low scoring game, was a great game. Now, at the time that I'm recording this, you guys can see the TV there, just in the corner. You guys can see that's still there, and I'm still watching what's going on. And we don't have a final score yet, but I'm perfectly willing to. Oh, he's gonna jinx us. No, this has been a really good game for Toronto, and frustrating for me as a Bruins fan as well. Gotta be honest, frustrating for me because I saw this coming going into the third. So we'll go into my notes here, because if I get as much of this done before the game's officially over, and then I just pause this sucker and put the score on there, and we can get into all the numbers. First period, the shots were 7-6 for Toronto, and Toronto had control. There's a chintzy penalty towards the end of the first. I'm not going to pretend that's a penalty. That should not have been a penalty. You got it. But again, and I sort of agree with Don Cherry mentioned this during Coach's Corner, that they were just looking to call something. Because of all the uproar after that one game, where they didn't call anything, it all turned into yeah, they didn't want that happening again, so they called, and I would not be surprised if that's the case. Second period, you'll notice I took a lot of notes. Okay, so they're at commercial right now, last commercial break of the game. I got mad at the Boston power play, and I got mad specifically at Pastrnak. I don't know what's going on with Pasternak's equipment tonight, but I tweeted out that, does he have new feet? Because the way he's kicking at the puck, you'd think he has new feet, and he doesn't know how they work. And there's been a lot of pucks at feet of Bruins, and between the puck always being at their feet and Marchand constantly cherry picking, I'm not sure where to start with my frustration. Hyman then got hurt but stayed in the game. So it looked like he might end up being out, but he stayed in the game. And then Krejci hit a post. Krejci had a fantastic opportunity, hits the post. A couple of Bruins on the ice throw their sticks up, but Krejci right away was like, nah, it's not a goal. And then the referee goes, no goal. And of course the crowd boos, because it's what you do when it's not a goal, even if you know it's not a goal. I've been in crowds in Vancouver where we know it's not a goal. You still boo when they announce it's not a goal, because it'd be nice to give you a goal when it's a post. Anyhow, and then there was a great chance for Tyler Ennis that very nearly ended up in a goal, but it didn't. So now we're down to, see there, 3 minutes. 3 minutes, still 2-0, and Boston's just being frustrated at this point. Fantastic blue line work by the Toronto Maple Leafs. After that great chance by Ennis, Pasta coughs up the puck again. And I had to write it on the board. I was like, wow, Pastrnak not having the best game of his life tonight. This is grand. And I'm not going to try to take away from what Toronto did tonight. It kind of feels like Boston was either lazy or Toronto just came in with a game plan and Boston never adjusted, one way or the other, right? So the shots are 9-9 after the second period. Now we're down to 2:24 left in the third, and I'm hoping I don't look around this board and see a bunch of fighting going on. In the third period, I had to write down that I was impressed with Trevor Moore and Travis Dermott. This is where your heroes come up. Yeah, you have your star players like Tavares and Riley and all them, but it's those fourth line, those depth guys that in a game like this, they can really stand out. And I thought they played really well to start the game. I think Dermott's had the best playoff game of his career tonight. The Leafs, and then I had to put a note as well, the Leafs are keeping shots to the outside. Boston's not funneling anything into the middle. Their shots are all coming from the outside, and they're not very frequent. So Freddie Anderson hasn't been tested a whole lot tonight. And then Boston got a too many men penalty, and they were lucky they didn't get another one. And not only that, but as that penalty ends, what's with the line change? Like the puck's barely outside the line, and I see 3 Bruins heading off, and I'm like, really? It's 5-on-1 Toronto right now. Good call. So, yeah, the Bruins pulled the goalie, so this will probably lead to a 3-0 score, I would think. They're not going to score twice in a minute and 40. It's just not going to happen. It just doesn't happen. So then, after that power play is killed, still the storyline still stays the same in that Matthews scores from Muzzin and Kapanen, And then there's a replay, and they're looking, they're going, oh, I don't know, there seems to be some interference. Looking at it, to me, I'm like, Rask couldn't have saved that anyways, and that's supposed to be part of it. Could the goalie have saved it anyways? In my opinion, no. At the time that there's contact with the goaltender, Rask, you could argue, is almost out of the crease as well. He's got 1 foot kind of in the crease. It's such a very slim opportunity that there's no way you could call that goal back. So I put good goal, agreed underneath, because it was a good goal. As a Bruins fan, I'm not going to make the argument of, oh, that shouldn't have counted, because it should have. It was a good goal. And then I had to put up great Leaf defense again, because it's been amazing defense for the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight. And now they're showing Kyle Dubas and Brandon Shanahan, as it's still 2-0 with 1:06 left. And Game 6 will be at 3 p.m. Eastern in Toronto on Easter Sunday. So that should be fun. That's the early game that's going on then. And with the great Leaf defense comes some offense as well. This goal by Kasperi Kapanen, huge for him. And Johnsson and Riley with the assists on that really, really amazing goal for Toronto. And that made it 2-0. And that's when I said, all right, well, we'll go ahead and get everything set up and get this started. So I'll go ahead and pause her. All right. So like I said, they won't score 2 in the last 2 minutes. They did score 1. Now, Krejci gets that goal with 43.4 seconds left, which has to make some people nervous, right? If you're a Toronto fan, you probably don't have any fingernails left. For me, again, other than barking at the TV a bit, the Bruins didn't hear me. Krejci from Pasternak and Krug, and that goal stands. I thought it kind of looked offside, but it depends on which angle. There's the one angle where you go, yeah, it's clearly offside. And then from another angle, it's like, is it? Maybe? I don't know. So, there you go. The Toronto Maple Leafs are now ahead 3-2. They're now, this is a weird fact. They are now 9-2 in Game 5s against Boston. And I'll tell you, I don't know what the record is in Game 6s, but they beat Boston in a Game 6 last year. So, the Toronto Maple Leafs are 1 win away from exercising demons of 15 years. 2004, the last time they won a series, and it looks like they could win it again. But like I said this morning in the preview, Toronto-Boston, Toronto-Boston. Boston's due for winning Game 6. I'm just kidding. I do think Toronto should be able to seal this one off. Boston outshoots them 14-11 in the third. Freddie Anderson, 27 saves on 28 shots. Has he earned everybody's respect yet? Because I've been talking about this kid and how good he is for years now, and has he earned that respect yet? Tuukka Rask, 25 saves on 27 shots. Not going to complain about Tuukka either. He played well. Those 2 goals by Toronto, good goals. I actually kind of felt bad for Freddie for losing the shutout there. But Boston, by the time they started realizing, holy crap, we're going to lose, it reminded me of Tampa the other night. And this game sort of reminded me of Tampa in a lot of ways too. Because look, through the first 2 periods, they have 15 shots. And they're at home. And that's not an acceptable total. I'm not, I'm one that has said you don't shoot from all over the ice. But, this is a combination of, to me, Boston kind of playing the lackadaisical style, I should say, a little bit in the first, getting caught flat-footed, and then Toronto's defense just keeps getting better during the game. So, yeah, like I said, Game 6, noon my time, 3 o'clock Eastern, and the Toronto Maple Leafs are 1 game away. So there you go. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Now I'm going to go. As a result of this tonight, I'm not planning on taking jerseys with me or the board. I'll do the Calgary, Colorado review when I get home. I'll keep track of the game on my phone until then. But, yeah, if anybody's going to be like, oh, Shannon's probably, really he's upset. He's hiding all the tears and all the upset. No, I have, last year I predicted that the Toronto Maple Leafs were going to knock out Boston. Going into this year's first round, I'm like, well, I can't take Toronto twice in a row or else I'm out of the Boston Bruins fan union. So, I wasn't going to take them this year. But this again shows that, Toronto stumbled going into the playoffs. Doesn't matter. Postseason is different from the regular season. And Toronto has been the better team. And kudos to them. Also, kudos to Babcock for coaching an amazing game. And again, I'm not trying to make excuses. The Bruins were kicking them at their feet because they weren't able to funnel it into the middle. Of those 28 shots, I'd be interested to know how many of them were really prime scoring opportunities in the middle, because I'm guessing it wasn't very many. That being said, I'm done. Now we're going to drive to Bellingham and watch a concert. But thank you guys so much for all your support. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through, and I will talk to you again soon.